Taoiseach, I want to ask about the consequences of the defeated care referendum. I think you know, and we all know, that a very significant part of the reason that that referendum was defeated was the anger of people with disabilities, with special needs, carers and so on, about the failure for you to include real rights for carers and people with disability in the Constitution. Now, I don't anticipate that you're going to have another referendum of that sort in the term of this government, but it does seem to me you have an obligation to heed the message that was sent from carers, from people with disabilities. And really what I want to know is, what are you going to do in response to the clear message that was sent? You promised that you would ratify the optional protocol on the UN CRPD, which would give real rights to people with disabilities. Are you going to do it, and when are you going to do it? Are you going to get rid of means testing for carers and for disability allowances, which is effectively trapping carers and people with disabilities in poverty, particularly women? And what are you going to do about the absolutely shocking situation in terms of the provision of assessments for children with special needs and the services? I wrote to you about the case I raised with you last week about Margaret, whose child was diagnosed in 2023 with autism and an intellectual disability, was referred for SLT, OT and a psychologist, was due to see the SLT in July this month, and then received a letter saying that they wouldn't get the SLT till January of 2026. This kind of thing has to be addressed as a matter of urgency.
On the, and we did, to Deputy Boyd Barrett, when we did hear a message, and I think, and I'm not being partisan or political on this, I think we all have to reflect on what the message the electorate sent during the referenda, and it probably wasn't one message, but there certainly was a message for us. In terms of the need to do more for carers. I personally met with carers groups, with the Minister for Social Protection, Minister of State in the Department of Health, Minister for Disability and others recently, in terms of their legitimate asks and expectations in terms of the next budget, and we'll continue to engage with them in the days and weeks ahead. And on the optional protocol on the UN Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, is absolutely our intention to ratify that. My understanding is Minister O'Gorman will bring an update to Cabinet this month in relation to it, and I've been very clear that I want to see us ratify it this year, and that's what we're working. That's what we're working towards today.